Coming to America, romantic comedy directed by John Landis, starring Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. It was the first movie to really establish the Eddie Murphy trademark, which was playing multiple characters in one film, most of them in heavy makeup and with changed voices. And in fact, in this movie, both he and Arsenio Hall do that, and for the most part, I was not able to spot them playing all the wacky cameo characters until I learned that was them afterwards. So I'd say it works quite well, both in terms of their acting skills as well as the makeup and costuming departments of the film. In fact, the movie received 2 Oscar nominations precisely for makeup and for costumes, and I think rightly so. So the story follows Eddie Murphy, who is a prince of a fictional African country. He lives in unbelievable luxury, has servants for everything, and is very pampered at pretty much every turn of his life. His father, the king, wants him to marry a girl he selected. A girl which is certainly very pretty, but she seems to have no personality at all apart from wanting to do whatever the prince wants her to do. And he wants more. He wants a lady to converse with, to challenge him, to be interesting and not just a pretty face. So he decides to postpone the wedding and go off to New York in search of a better wife, taking a single servant with him, Sammy, played by Arsenio Hall. The two of them try to navigate the black communities of Queens and start jobs at a local McDonald's rip-off fast food joint, because Prince Akeem insists on keeping his wealth and position in secret. And he quickly falls in love with the daughter of the owner of the fast food joint, who seems to be everything he dreams of. And the story goes from there with various wacky hijinks ensuing. So first of all, I have previously read that the movie was rated R, and people claimed that, oh, a movie like this couldn't be made today. But actually, apart from all the swearing and some sex jokes, the movie is devoid of anything that would be considered bold or controversial. In fact, I'd say it's pretty safe and progressive when it comes to its story. I mean, the central plot revolves around the desire to find a great empowered woman, which is something certainly fitting today's Hollywood climate. Secondly, the movie's strongest suit is definitely the thing with the actors playing multiple characters, as well as other cameo appearances, including Samuel L. Jackson, which are played for laughs. And while not all of the gags land, there were multiple times when I laughed out loud. And the best ones are the jokes involving physical comedy or funny cuts, which is definitely a great use of the language of film, not just clever writing. The film also has a fair amount of heart. The main characters are pretty wholesome and good people, and all of the jokes, as I said, are fairly harmless. I do have some criticisms. The ending was very confusing for me. It almost feels like there's a scene missing between the emotional climax and the final sequence back in Africa, because I was completely confused as to whether it's really happening or is this some sort of a fantasy or dream sequence. In fact, I rewound the movie. I went back a couple of minutes thinking I maybe missed something, but no, it just isn't there. John Landis, the director, also wanted to recut the film to improve pacing. He felt it was too slow and needed to be a bit shorter. I somewhat agree, especially in the first half, but I'd specify that I had a problem specifically with the joke pacing and timing, particularly in the first half of the film. See, I really enjoy this type of comedies where jokes are fast and snappy and leave you with little time to really process what's going on before continuing on with the next bit. I feel that when done this way, the humor feels more natural, and it also treats the audience with more respect, because the movie assumes that you're able to follow quickly and catch up with the quick wit. In Coming to America, there were multiple times when it almost felt like there were pauses left for a laugh track. There will be a joke, and then there's a fair amount of time before the next one. And again, especially in the first half, you really feel that empty time. So it's certainly something that could have been improved. To sum up, it's by no means a perfect or revolutionary movie, but it's definitely passable entertainment. I did have a couple of laughs. I did think its heart was in the right place. And apart from the weird ending, I have to say I was quite satisfied with it.